One is entitled, I would have told my carpentry teacher I loved trees. To miseducate a child is to miss the chance to create something so wild in its imagination. Something one hot air balloon short of its helium soul, and to watch it lift from the ground to the sound of morning birds, to the skin of the sky, and see the ridiculous vastness of it all the way they imagined. Or if you, like me as a child, to remain amongst the trees and let the spirit of the forest speak and bleed into me, such that whatever poetry was growing inside me is tentacled with the branches that carry my ancestors' breasts, their chests and shoulders the size of baobab trees. When I heard my carpentry teacher had passed away, a sudden sadness put a chainsaw to his memory. By all accounts, he was a good man, a man of iron discipline. But to us forest lovers, this man was no god. We had seen trees that towered above him. He was no emperor. The trees had seen his naked soul. But when I heard that he died, something put a chainsaw so deep into his memory, and I heard the loud scream at the root of it. And eventually it crashed with a thunderous silence in the depth of the forest. And I haven't been there ever since. But I walk back to see it and where it lies today with this poem. So these are the things that I never got to say to you, Mr. Ngwenya. I loved trees. I woke up in the morning every day to climb a tree, right in the middle of the front yard, dead center of one of the tiniest spaces in the world. A fir tree so majestic, I thought it lived part of its days in the heavens. I thought that somewhere in the sky lived this large, smiling woman called God, and that she let that fir tree sit in between her thighs and braided the sweet fruit of its tree into its afro puffs. I loved trees. And when they cut that tree around the same time that you started teaching me, you were dead to me. Your classroom became the workshop of the devil. To miseducate a child is to tell them that beauty can only come from destroying the things that you love, that certain things can only be pieced together by breaking their spirits. In a classroom, this very second, there is a child learning that puppetry is not geometry, that tape dancing in the sky is not astronomy, that studying insects is silly since yellow jackets do not sell in the stock market, and that their ancestors were not the same voices they heard in the forest, in the songs of their roots, the same ones whose tongues you urged us to chop into pieces and stop their poetry mid-sentence.